but that's alright.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yo guys, what is up? Max in our Wonderlands video, and today IGN put out their IGN first look at weapons in Wonderlands. We now know the different manufacturers for melee weapons, the different blade types, how melee like modular system is going to work, and we also got some info about anointments and their potential return. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There's been so much Wonderlands content and info coming out over the next few days, and it's only just going to get crazier and crazier. So I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I plan to keep y'all up to date on everything. If you guys do enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And then, guys, let's get right into it. As always, I will have the link to the article in the description, but I'm going to be covering everything you guys need to know here. So in this interview, IGN is talking to the developers of Wonderlands, and they get to talking about weapons. So Wonderlands, is going to have that same kind of like modular creation of weapons and weapon parts, but it's going to be applying to not only guns, but to melee. And today we learn a lot more about melee. So melee is a crazy addition, and it's going to come in the same wide variety of melee weapons as guns. Like, it's going to have the same amount of variety to them. So here it says that they come in 4 different flavors. There's two-handed blades, swords, axes, and blunt weapons like hammers and morning stars. Within each weapon class are a dozen of different options. The lead artist said that there are 12 different types of blades in the sword weapons class alone. So you've got 4 main varieties like two-handed, sword, axe, and blunt, and then bunch of different blade types in each of that. And then the modular system for those weapons is going to add different hilts, and the different hilt mods will offer bonuses to your character while you have the sword equipped. One example they said was a mod to gather ammo during a melee attack. So while you're dealing close range damage, you can also replenish your munitions. Blade mods come with stat modifications and look cooler. These numerous modifications all draw from the same pool of assets, and you can imagine how quickly those possible combinations can add up to massive amounts of variety. So we've got different blades on different hilt mods, and the hilt mod sounds like they're going to add a bonus to the weapon, whether that be like give you ammo when you melee things. They don't really mention any other ones, but so tons of different blades, tons of different hilts, and then that's going to get crazy. They say just like the guns of Borderlands, the melee weapons also have manufacturers. Valora makes Tiny Tina's Wonderland's two-handed swords. Swift makes the one-handed swords. Cleave is the go-to company for axes. And my personal favorite, Bonk, in all capitals, is your one-stop shopping choice for blunt weapons. It's another cool touch that adds to the richness of the Wonderlands universe. Next up, they talk about weapons, and they say that weapons are basically Borderlands weapons, but Tina-ized. They're how would Tina make weapons in her own game. So you've got like Borderlands classics, but you've also got some crazy new additions, like weapons with like crystals that you like sprinkle dust on top of and shoot like crystal magic things. Also, crossbolts are here, and crossbolts will stick bolts into enemies, and when you stick bolts into enemies with a crossbow, you might get a certain buff to them. They don't really mention what the buff is or what it could be. Maybe the more bolts you have into them, the more damage they take, or the more bolts that they have, maybe then they're going to take additional melee damage, something along those lines. But the weapons are sounding really cool. Next up, they talk about the legendary tier, and this is where we get our first mention of enchantments. Now, the community has kind of dubbed anointments like, oh, maybe anointments will be in Wonderlands as enchantments. And it sounds like that might actually be the case. Like, we might have predicted that. They do not say at any point that enchantments are anointments. They do not confirm that. They do talk about, which I'm about to read here, but we do not know what enchantments are or how they function. We do get a little line of it, and I'm going to read it out to you right now. So they say that the legendary tier of weapons or gear is where they were able to really flex. It's classic wacky Tiny Tina stuff, something the team approached by deciding, let's get all of our ideas out there. As far as other rarity levels, the Wonderlands team didn't say, but they did tell me there are enchantments, which affect different levels of rarity. So if you're one of those Borderlands players who obsesses over finding that perfect combination of RNG, Wonderlands has your back. The last line there makes me think enchantments are going to be something that's like on weapons, similar to how anointments are. So when you get your perfect weapon, it could be even more perfect if it's got an enchantment on it. Once again, I know some people liked and didn't like the anointment system. My biggest hope is if enchantments are like anointments, that it's toned down. I didn't like that anointments were a must-have because they were so good. Your anointment mattered more than your freaking weapon that you were using. Like 300% gun damage after using an action skill or 200% splash. It's just too much. If they tone back it like significantly and make them really small and more of an optional thing, so like if you get the perfect crossbow weapon, you're really happy with it, but it rolls with an enchantment that gives you like 15% more damage, that's not going to make or break it, but it'll give you a little bit more of that enchantment to that perfect roll and something more to hunt after. So I really hope that they tone them down if enchantments are like anointments, but we do kind of have like a semi-confirmation that there will be an additional RNG factor to the weapons that you're going to be getting via enchantments. I'm super curious about this. I know it's a little bit of a touchy subject because some people really liked anointments, some people didn't. At like the end of the day, we're just going to have to wait and see how they did it and hope that they listen to the community feedback. But I am really excited to see what enchantments are about. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the breakdown. I actually have more Wonderlands news coming out in the next few days. So stay tuned. I will catch y'all in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.
I was putting in the